Ida for taking money out of my son's mom's desk to comp the sitter? Our 9-year-old Jeremy went to sleepaway camp on Tuesday. On Thursday the camp called us and said he lost one of his shoes and we needed to get him a new pair. He was just wearing sandals and they weren't going to take him hiking or trips. The camp is a couple hours away. We have a sitter who works at the same day camp as our 7-year-old and he takes him to and from camp and watches him afterwards. I told my ex that I would see if the sitter could find a way to drop off a pair of shoes and we'd pay him twice the amount of whatever hours the trip took him. He said he'd let me know Friday a.m. Yesterday he said he'd go drop shoes after taking our 7-year-old to camp and I said great. Later in the afternoon he texted me and said Jeremy already had shoes. I asked what he was talking about and he said my ex placed an Amazon order to the camp. He said he was a bit miffed that he lost pay at the day camp to help us out when he didn't need to make the trip after all. I said I didn't even think about your losing pay at the camp and I had no idea my ex placed an order on Amazon. In fact the camp said they don't allow Amazon or Uber Eats or other delivery services. I said I'd take care of him either way. I called my ex and she said she called the camp director the night before and asked if she could just have shoes delivered and he made an exception. I told her that our sitter drove all the way out there and is mad. She said that she didn't know he was going. I said no one knew that you placed an order. Had you told me that then I wouldn't have asked the sitter to go. She asked what I wanted from her and I said you should comp him for wasting his time. I'll pay to comp him for half the day and you the other half. So $120 each. She refused because it was a mistake and I typically pay him for babysitting. I said this needs to be fixed ASAP because finding a good sitter is very hard to find. She said no. Last night I went to pick up my 7-year-old from her house and it was sitter pay day. I know my ex keeps thousands in cash in her desk drawer. I took $120 and gave it to the sitter in addition to my $120 and his normal pay. I told my ex and she was furious and demanded that I pay her back. I said I didn't care. I possibly prevented him from quitting over a lack of communication. Keeping him happy is way more important. He's such a good sitter that I didn't know that he bought Jeremy an ice blended mocha when he saw him. The amount of money is trivial. My ex and I make good money and kill an OT.